Subtlety can be sexy, but sometimes when you come into the room, man, you just gotta own it. What is up, my beautiful and fragrant people? Come on in, close the door, hit the like button on your way in, sit down, because today we have 5 fragrances to go over. Pre-spring, they are known room fillers. Beast mode, some last longer than others, but all of these are what I use when I just want to control the room. So the first fragrance that we're going to talk about here today, guys, is admittedly the silliest bottle I have in my collection. And this is coming from the house of Moschino, and this is Toy Boy. Now, Toy Boy is a spicy rose, guys, rose-based fragrance. I think Moschino calls it a neo absolute rose. It is not a true rose. It has nuances of rose. You do get rose when you spray this on, so if you don't like rose, avoid this. But if you're trying to get into rose, this can kind of ease you in there a little subtly. Opens up bright and fresh, spicy rose, gives a little pretty boy touch to it, but it has a little bit of amber in there. So this opens up with a pear carried by a bergamot. And the heart is where you're going to get that neo absolute rose, and at the bottom, super fresh, because you're going to get a nice vetiver and an amber max. So this one is a winner for me. A lot of guys, they sleep on this one. They say it's very, very synthetic. They say, oh, it doesn't have a real rose in it. But hey, I have gotten so many compliments, and I've gotten a rewear compliment on this one also. Women have actually asked me to wear this again when I've worn this on a date. So this is light shirt, maybe a polo, maybe a button down, maybe even linen. Hit this about 10 times, hit your clothes a couple times, behind the ear, behind your neck, in the front of your throat, and watch the magic happen. This pulls me all kinds of compliments from women, guys. Hey, it just works. You can hate on it, but this works for me. At the number 5 spot from Moschino is Toy Boy. Now this next fragrance that we're gonna talk about is actually the ugliest bottle in my collection. I cannot stand it. My son calls it the lightning bolt. From one boy to another boy, this is the Bad Boy from Carolina Herrera, and this is Bad Boy, the EDT. Now this one I found to project the most out of Cobalt, the Le Parfum, and I think they have another one out there now. This one, guys, fills a room for me, and on my clothes I have to wash this off. Hit Bad Boy once again about 10 times and watch that magic happen. Especially if you have a spring that's sort of like Texas down here. I can wear this in Houston, hit this 10 times and hit my clothes a few times, and it controls the room. Now Bad Boy opens up with a bergamot and pepper up top. In the middle, you're getting a great sage and cedar, which gives it kind of a woody nuance. And on the bottom is where you're getting a cacao. And that cacao is what really makes this fragrance on the dry down, guys. I am telling you. People say, hey, have you smelled the parfum? Hey, have you smelled the EDT? As with that bergamot up top, it will burn off fast, but time your sprays, like I always say, and this one will fill a room. It projects more off of my skin than the Le Parfum, and it projects more than the Cobalt. And on the bottom with that cacao mixed in with the woody notes and a slightly amber spicy, this one gets compliments from hour 1 all the way to hour 7 for me. Room filler within the first 2 hours. My sillage is crazy within the first 2 hours, and it is nuts. It's not cloying here in Texas in the springtime and early spring. Right now is where I'm wearing this one, and I have had plenty success. A lot of compliments and a great switch up from the other fragrances that I oftentimes wear this time of year. Compliment getter, room filler, room controller. At the number 4 spot from Carolina Herrera, it's Bad Boy. This next fragrance at number 3 is a fragrance that I recommend to every man that comes to me and asks how they should start their collection, or what's one fragrance I would recommend for them for the rest of their lives. Something that's good for every season is just spray and go. One of my favorites, and Alberto Morillas put his foot up in this perfumery, come from the house of Giorgio Armani, is Acqua di Gio Profumo. Cannot go wrong. This one dressed all the way up and dressed all the way down. Opens up with a beautiful bergamot and sea notes. In the heart, you're gonna get sage and rosemary, but on the dry down is where this thing carries some legs. You're gonna get the patchouli and incense. This is not a super earthy, dirty patchouli. This patchouli is one that just gives it some legs. It gives it a more grown-up feel, it gives it a more sex appeal, and it just gives it staying power. When the incense comes up from the base, guys, you're getting a layer of just sexiness that travels through this. A touch of smoke, but some legs to it. And I don't know how to describe it. You have to smell this one to understand it. I'm a patchouli lover, and with patchouli on the bottom here, it's not extremely detectable, but it gives it just enough to carry this one through to mass appealing. If you've not smelled this one, not sure what you've been doing, because this one is one beautiful fragrance. It is a room filler. Once again, another one that you can overspray that won't get obnoxious. Now, you have to be careful on temperature. If the temperature is 80 or above, this one can get cloying if you've oversprayed it too much. So I kind of monitor what the humidity and temperature is doing. If it's a little windy outside, it's perfect. A perfect first date. You're spraying this 8 to 10 times. Spray your collar, spray behind your ears, spray once behind your neck, spray your clothes a couple times, go up to 10 sprays. Make sure that it's not too humid and that the temperature is a little bit below 80 degrees. If it's a little bit of wind, your sillage is going to be a murderer. So I wore this on a first date and went to dinner and the normal drinks and things like that. No compliments, right? So the young lady I was with said nothing about it. So we're hugging, we're close together, the wind is whipping, and I knew, I'm spoiled, I'm used to compliments. She said nothing. So I'm like, all right. Date was over, she goes home, says, hey, I'm home, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. Then she texts me about an hour later and she says, hey, what was that fragrance you had on tonight? And I said, oh, told her what it was. And she goes, I meant to tell you that you smell so good. And she goes, it reminded me of telling you that because I took my hair down. When I took my hair down, I smelled that fragrance again from hugging you, and it is wonderful. She goes, I do not want to wash my hair. I want to smell it again, and it reminds me of our date. So look, one of the best compliments I ever had came late, sliding in the home. So that's story time for a little bit of Alberto Moria's perfumery, the art of seduction. From the house of Giorgio Armani is Acquaggio Profumo. All right, guys, are y'all ready for this next fragrance? I don't think you are. Most people are not ready for this one, and women are definitely not ready for this one. Unfortunately, it seems like this one is not available everywhere around the world, but here in the West, in America, we can definitely still get a hold of this one. And this also coming from the house of Giorgio Armani is Armani Code Absolute. This one, guys, slightly metallic, powdery vanilla. She will not be ready. Trust me when I tell you. A room filling, beautiful fragrance that is also a lovely skin scent. This fragrance lasts forever, especially if you spray it about 10 times and hit your clothes a couple times. It is seductive, it is sexy, lasts forever. You're gonna stand out and you're gonna smell different from all these other guys wearing Dior Sauvage. So this one opens up with apple and mandarin orange. In the heart, you're gonna get a little bit of nutmeg thrown in there, but to me, it seems to dry down pretty quickly to the base note, and that's where you're gonna get the sweet tonka bean with some suede in there and the vanilla. That's where this one starts to work its magic. It is a beautiful opener and a beautiful base note. To me, it kind of goes from opener to base note. Everything in the heart that says it's there on Fragrantica, I don't really get. What does nutmeg smell like? I don't know, but maybe I am getting it, I don't know. But to me, on the vanilla, once it gets out of the top note, the vanilla and the tonka bean on the bottom kind of takes over. And you all know, vanilla and tonka bean with a little pinch of suede in there, it has a almost metallic dry down as it goes through to that lovely powdery vanilla. And you are going to be the man wearing this. Overspray it, hit your clothes a couple times, hit behind the ear 2 times, hit behind your neck, hit behind your neck twice. So I do 2 times behind my neck, once behind each ear, hit the collar once each, and then I spray my clothes about 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, done. 8 to 9 hours on me. It is projecting for the first hour and a half. I'm getting 2 to 3 feet of projection, and the sillage, don't even talk about it. Be prepared to do something strange that day. You ain't even gonna make it tonight, that day. Thank me later. From the house of Giorgio Armani is Code Absolute. And sliding into home for this #1 room filling fragrance that I have, guys. Not that it smells just so much better than the other ones, because it doesn't. It's just so freaking powerful. This one is one that I can literally wear 1 spray and fill up a room. I have to be very, very careful, and this 100 ml bottle will last me forever. And this is coming from the house of YSL, or our boy Yves Saint Laurent, and this is Y the EDP. Now, this is a strong, fresh, woody aromatic. So this is an apple, ginger, and bergamot up top. In the heart, you're gonna get some sage and juniper berries, and it actually does have a beautiful heart. And in the base is where you're gonna get the amberwood, tonka bean, cedar, vetiver, and olibanum. So what does that mean? That means you're gonna fill the room with a whole bunch of sweet, aromatic goodness. And once it dries down, this is going to be a woody, masculine scent on your skin, guys. A room-filling beast mode monster of a fragrance off of me. If I do 3 sprays on this one, right? If I do 3 sprays, this one is lasting me about 7.5 hours. 3 sprays. It is projecting for up to 2 hours, 3 to 4 feet. My sillage is forever. The sillage lasts behind me 4 to 5 feet. So if you want to fill a room, a couple sprays of this one. If you hit your clothes, even longer. So what I would do is hit the front of my throat, hit the back of my neck, and then maybe hit my clothes 1 time. That's how you fill up a room with Yves Saint Laurent Y, the EDP, and grabs compliments like insanity. If you're going out on a date during the day, guys, spray this about an hour before you leave the house, about an hour. Great for hugs. Once you come to hour 7 or hour 8 and you're going back to someone's place or something like that, this is a beautiful skin scent. It's going to be woody with some freshness in there with a little bit of sweetness. So never fails for me, and I guarantee it won't fail for you unless you just stink. All right, take a shower before you put this on. YSL Y EDP, super nice, affordable, room filling beast mode fragrance that you just can't go wrong with. Very mass appealing. From the house of Yves Saint Laurent is YSL Y EDP. So there it is, guys. These are fragrances that are available right now through discounters that you guys can get a hold of for not a whole lot of money, that are going to fill a room, that are going to smell good, that are going to bring you compliments, and can also be your signature scent. But what are you guys wearing right now that are beast mode, that when you come into a room, they just get attention for you? List them down in the comments. I want to know what everybody else is wearing. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I love all of you guys, and I will see you guys on the next video right here, or check out some videos here that are going to actually help you smell a little bit better. Until next time, keep smelling good.